Good evening, hoping that you had a great weekend and your week has started awesomely. Yes, is there anything like that, by the way?
Awesomely, yes.
I hope your week has started well. We are well, we are great, and we are here, kama kawaida. We are manning the city gates because we don't want the enemies to come in and bring some bad things in the city. Neither do we want the enemies to come and get off some of our belongings from our city. And I am having, yes, my usual suspects. We are three, but there is one who have heeded to the call. You see, we are good people. We are able to practice what we are teaching. And so one of us has taken sabbatical leave. And so, but I know he's watching us and I know he'll be interacting with us. One guy, our financial advisor and consultant, he has taken sabbatical leave, Simon K. But I know he's watching. We love you, our brother, and we appreciate you so much. And we are going to miss you very much. But there is someone who have coming to wear his shoes. And his name, he has a beautiful name because it is a name that has letters that are repeating. Unajua. His name is Pastor GG. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good to have you here.
A pleasure being here.
Karibu sana.
Asante. Thank you for the invite.
Yes.
I'm trying to wonder whether I'll fit in the big shoe of the
You will by the grace of God. You will by the grace of God.
Maybe my leg need to be pulled a little bit to make it a little bigger.
One thing I can assure you.
Yes.
He's always touching his specs. So maybe you can try to do that.
But I touch mine like this.
So for him, he does it like this. So you can try to do that.
I will try that in the course of time. I hope I don't forget that.
Yeah, yes, please. Yeah. Karibu sana.
Asante sana.
It's an honor and it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here.
I know we are going to enjoy ourselves together.
Yes.
So karibu sana.
Asante. I was really looking forward to coming to the rooftop.
Yes.
Because I always watch from the at you people from the rooftop.
Wow.
And it's a great joy to be in this show.
Thank you very much.
Asante.
Maybe you can say hi to our viewers.
Yes. Hi, our viewers. My name is Pastor GG. I'm so glad to be here, to be part of this great team as we man the city. Yes.
Yes.
Great.
And our other and our very own pastor.
Here he is.
Warui Wairura.
On the street.
You know, I'm trying to say like
so the letters also repeat themselves.
I'm trying to say like one of our,
yes,
you know.
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah, we
there's
know
a
them.
girl, you know.
I know her.
Yes.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, how was your week?
My week has been.
Is it week or weekend?
Weekend. Yeah, it's week since we were together on Monday. It was great.
Yeah.
Very busy, but thanking God that we are here.
Yes.
Yes, and manning the city gates.
Yes.
They can't stay unmanned.
Yes.
And for Simon K, enjoy the sabbatical.
Enjoy.
Mental wellness is very important.
Very important.
Yes.
Very important.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
thank you very much.
Yes.
And tonight we are doing the final episode of Battling with Addiction. And before we look into what we want to discuss tonight, maybe Rev, you can take us through the recap of what we were discussing.
Yeah, last week we had quite a number of discussions that bordered two areas. One, how addictions come and how we can stay away from them. So we combined these two because I remember we talked about relationships, that many get into addictions out of peer pressure. And we also gave counsel even to parents in terms of how they ought to take care of where they take their children to school.
Yes.
Because you may take that kid there, they might not have the ability to say no to whatever is happening in the environment. And therefore, we also talked about the environment, and we said the environment also has an influence because it comes with two things. It brings a culture of how things are done, so that if smoking certain things is the norm in a certain place, then if you come and live there, it becomes very difficult for you to exonerate or to stay away from that. That was their way of doing things. And we also said that environment also brings availability. Yeah. And when certain things are easily available, then it becomes easy for people to get to access them and to abuse them. And it becomes a problem. We also talked about other things like the key thing is ensuring that you don't start.
Yes.
And I give the example of an escalator, where before you put your foot there, you are still in control. But the moment you take that first puff, the moment you take that first sip, then you have lost your power.
Yeah.
You have given away your authority, and therefore you now are controlled by whatever is getting you. So in a nutshell, I think these are some of the things that we discussed.
Very true.
And we shared quite a number of things allowed those.
Yes.
Yes.
And so tonight we want to talk about or to look at the solution. But before we go to the solution, there's this issue of the MOGs, the
Men of
ministers.
God.
Now we coming to church. They are going through addictions.
Yes.
And they don't have people to talk to. And so they are dying inside. When they come to church, but when they go to their closets,
Yes.
how should we go about this? Addiction amongst the ministers and people serving in church.
It's very unfortunate that a lot of the church people, from the ministers to the congregation, they are going through addiction. And the first thing that we need to realize, ministers are normal human beings, like every other person.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a perception that because mimi ni pasi, I'm supposed to be every other person. Yes, I don't have problems. I'm supposed to be living like I live next to God's bedroom, if he has a bedroom somewhere.
You live in heaven and you just appear here.
I want to fight that bed.
Because pastors, music, apostles, they are all human. And they go through these things that we're talking about here. Addiction or substance abuse, many of them go through that. I can guarantee you there are so many pastors and bishops and what do you call the Catholic one? The priests,
the canon,
yes,
the
canons
vicar,
and deacons,
yes,
and all those names. They are all into drunkenness.
My
there
goodness.
are so many of them that are in sexual addictions. There are so many of them that have habits that they cannot stop, just because they are normal human beings. I think because they had to come out because they have a name in the society. It had to come out with this problem that has become. As a result, they die quietly. They come and preach. Immediately they finish preaching, they go back to the house and begin to drink. I was sharing with a lady who tells me that she comes to church and immediately after church, slowly, but so sure. And the reason they don't want to talk out is because they want to defend their name. They don't want to be known that they are weak in a certain way. I think the first thing that we need men of God to realize is that they are normal human beings. They go through challenges like everybody else, and that they need help.
Yes.
They actually need help. Many of them drink hiding, and they hiding. When they come to the pulpit, they look so Holy Ghosted. Some of them are not under the Holy Ghost.
Yeah.
You know, because they have been drinking, but they don't want to speak out.
Yes.
I want to advise men of God. You minister like you are all your senior, because everybody is supposed to be under some form of authority.
Yes.
I am supposed to have somebody that I look up unto, because I'm not the know-it-all. Prophet of God. Yes. I'm not the big you out. You need somebody who can hold your hand out. It is time for us preachers to practice what we tell the others. We tell people, look for help from your brother. I think it is time for us ministers to actually preach to ourselves and to preach to one another and tell each other, let's look for help, because we actually need help.
Very true.
Wow.
I agree. Rev,
Yes.
as he's speaking,
Yes.
there is something. Nasikia kuchemka.
Unachemka. Tumaji tumabaridi.
But I'm,
Yeah.
again, I'm wondering, as men and women of God, when we are fighting or going through this addiction, are we living a double life? That on Sunday I'm in the pulpit preaching, then on Monday or even Sunday evening I'm in a certain club taking my beer.
I would not say a double life per se. Because like we said, when you are addicted, you've lost control. You are not in charge. You are being driven by whatever force that has taken control of you. And so most of these men are desperate to lead a life that is not double-sided. They are desperate to stop drinking. They are desperate to stop running after girls. And if they are women, of course, running after boys. They are desperate to stop all those things that they do. But they can't live because they have been bowed. These things are, like we said, are chains that have bowed them, and they really can't break them. And so they are not doing this voluntarily. And like we are saying, one of the things that is really holding them is because they fear coming out. They don't know who to talk to. And men of God, I can tell you, are lonely.
Yes.
They are lonely.
Okay, let's start from here.
They,
All men of God. We only,
you know, you always pretend that you are not a pastor.
that's why I'm saying we are all men of God.
Yes.
We are all men of God here.
I agree.
I will only.
True. To a certain extent, we can be.
Yes.
We can be lonely. And that is why, and this loneliness is sometimes, when I look at, you know, all of us project a holier than thou image.
Yes.
So when I meet Reverend Gigi, he looks too holy. Sasa nikimwambia what I'm struggling with, atanifikiria namna gani? Na juzi alikuwa ameniita kwake church ni
Joy. Like Pastor says, they are actually bound. And therefore what happens is that after they have engaged, whether it is sexually, whether it is alcoholism, whether it is weed or whatever things that they do, when they go back to their houses, and because of the loneliness that they are going through, as we are saying, they actually cry a lot. I can tell you, David never enjoyed doing the things that he did. No. You know, he did so many mistakes, but I can tell you, the moment he went back to his closet, he was always in tears. And that is what happens amongst many people, even the ministers, that they are out there posing to be okay, but when they are alone, because of the desperation that they are going through, they keep on weeping and crying. But because they cannot show it off to the people, then they find that the only way to get a temporary relief is if I go and get my wine, so that I get high and for a moment forget. I think we need to ask ourselves a question that we keep on asking. Who is it that pastors the pastor? Who ministers to the minister?
A good question.
Because that is where we will be able to pull out those that are addicted out of it. That me who is standing as a pastor, if I'm standing, you know, I hope I am.
Let's hope so.
Me who is standing, I should be willing to go and take interest in helping that other minister who seems to be struggling and not demonize
without
them.
condemning and all
Don't
these.
demonize them or condemn them. It is true they have a problem that need to be addressed. And I will agree with Pastor that many times it's not about double life. Of course, there are those that decided
there are some who do double life.
That is my way of life. So I don't need God, I don't need to go to heaven, but I will do it. But those that are genuinely seeking help, we need to reach out to help them.
Now,
and there's something before we get out of that that is very, very important. That even if they do these things, there's somebody who will always know. Most of the times will be either their spouses or a few people who are close to them. And maybe we should be able to also address these people. Because I've realized I've been in a situation where I'm out and I would want to help a minister. The person whom I can access that minister through and offer the help is the wife. But the wife becomes a wall, defends the husband. And I think it is important because if a man is a drunkard, then the wife knows that this man is a drunkard. If the man is a sexual addict, some of these things cannot be hidden.
They cannot be
so hidden. I think their spouses need to also come out, not to expose them, but to hold their hand and take them to where they can get help. You know, identify and prayerfully identify where can my man find help.
There's something coming to my mind. You know, maybe some of these spouses, they want to take advantage because they know I'm the only one who knows about this issue. So anytime I need something from me, you refuse to give me, I will go and talk about
Hadithi the guy who killed the chicken. And then every time the other one would say, ubebe maji yangu na yako. Ukikosa kubeba, Ni tabia mam ni wewe uligonga kuku ikakufa.
Acha hiyo. Just the other day na hapa Juja farm.
Yes.
There's this couple.
Yeah.
So mzee, not mzee ako over 50 years. Hakuwa
amefanya nini? Hiyo sasa hiyo.
Amepitia kisu. And so he got married and the woman realized jamaa wangu
hajakatwa.
And so anytime they would have an issue,
Rabiwa jaribu.
This woman
Umesema na hapa Juja farm. Sio story.
Si story.
Okay.
You know, they say you either get married, you either marry a wife or a knife.
Yes. So this woman would tell
Kuna watu wanajipanga kuoa. They need to know.
And so
They need to know whether they are marrying a knife or a wife.
Jaribu nitaenda pale kabi.
Niseme.
Nitachukua microphone.
Yes.
And you know this
Yeah.
mzee akafinyiriwa kwa muda mrefu sana.
Utafinyiriwa.
So one day this mzee was very wise. One day
he
told the wife, niko na kasafari imenishika.
Ninaenda kidogo. Akaenda
akakatwa.
Siku 8.
Akarudi nyumbani. Akaleta kichwa, mama akamwambia wewe
Nikuzibuka.
Nikipiga.
Enda useme. So we are talking to such women now.
Yes.
And we are
so
telling
some
them
of these
yes.
pastors' wives.
Yes. Maybe taking advantage of
they
that
have been
situation.
taking advantage.
Yeah.
That's
But they need to be the support system.
Or
Yes.
some of them may even be seeing that the church may be their source of livelihood, and they're thinking, if this man is known, then I'll also lose my livelihood.
Yes.
But I would say, if you are a good woman of God, seek God diligently.
Yes.
Let God lead you to somebody whom you can hold your husband's hand and lead him to find help.
Yes.
Pray for them, number one. Do not rebuke them. Do not condemn them. Do not fight them. Do not leave them. Because again, there are some who leave them.
And
Do
that
not
is
leave them.
solution.
Help them find help. I always tell people that when you marry somebody or get married to somebody, one of the assignments you have received is to partner with God.
Yes.
To make that person a good heavenly material.
Yes.
That if Jane found weary, when he was not hiyo material haigeingia binguni vizuri.
Kweli.
Jane anasaidia, wanashikana na Mungu. Wanauda wiri,
Yes.
anaigia binguni akiwa amefanyiwa kazi.
Kweli.
And this is a partnership. So that man you're married to is not only a marriage. It's a partnership. It's a pact you entered with God to shape, mold, and help this man.
Yes.
So hold his hand, lead him where help is, because there will always be somebody who knows. If you know a pastor who does this, maybe you are also the girl that he sleeps with. Please, don't allow yourself to become that person who leads astray the man of God. But now that he is open to you, you also might be helped by God to repent and also help him find, both of you find help.
Yes,
because
exactly.
these men who are sex addicts, they don't sleep with
And I
themselves.
think there's also some other perspective that I would want to look at it. Because as we talk about addiction and the things that men of God go through, there is also something that is very, very seriously eating us up. That idea of being so used to being called the MOG.
You are on a pedestal up
Exactly. You're up there.
Yeah.
You feel that you are the senior most guy in the whole, place.
Yeah.
That pride creeps in. Because I can tell you many men and women of God have to deal with pride.
Pride.
For
Ego.
them to be, that ego.
Yeah.
For them to become the men and the women that God wanted them to be, they've got to find a way of dealing with pride.
Yeah.
As I was studying, I realized that actually the Bible mentions or condemns pride 3 times.
Yes.
Solomon does it in the book of Proverbs.
Yeah.
James does it, and Peter does it. The Bible says clearly that God resists the proud,
The proud.
but gives grace to the humble. 3 times.
Yes.
In the name of God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy
And the Holy Spirit.
Because
Yeah.
it is so easy to get carried away by the fact that everybody is calling you Papa, everybody is calling you Daddy,
so
everybody is calling you my spiritual father.
You are drunk.
Yes,
you are drunk with that.
Drunk
Yes.
Small gods.
that
Yes.
you forget that you are actually supposed to be a servant
Of God.
Come on, hallelujah.
And there's a place of accountability. You're accountable to God.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because many of us are actually not answerable to anybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why you find that there's also all manner of crap
Yes.
that happens in
Yeah,
church.
yeah,
Because men are so drunk with this
With
pulpit thing
Papa,
that I am the man of God. Touch not the anointed. You know, I was being told a story about somebody who really messed up. He split somebody else's church and then, you know, goes to the village to say the way that people don't realize that he can even curse them and they get the curse. And he has actually done the mistake himself. You know, and he's telling people, don't you realize I am the man of God?
I can curse.
You know,
Kube, you are carrying the curse yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that
it's a
is
bad.
right.
Yeah.
And men and women of God need to come out of that.
Exactly.
True. And we need to,
Yeah, the
to
people
check
are in
some
here.
people who are following us. Thank you very much for all those who are tuned in. We have Sony Masharia, and she's saying, can we take a minute and appreciate that quality production?
Production team. Production
Kudos.
team.
You're doing a good job. Doing a good job. Thank you, sana, Sony Masharia. And our very own, our usual suspect, one of them, Simon K. He's here. Man of God, Rev Gigi. Thank you so much for coming over to man the city gates.
Thank you, thank you.
Simon
Yeah.
K.
Simon, thank you
anasema,
for allowing me to sit on your hot seat.
And don't forget to acknowledge David Kangede.
yes,
Yes.
I must.
Yeah, yeah,
And
please.
then men of God can. This is Simon K. Men of God can be lonely, and so are their kids sometimes. We need to, actually. we
He's
need
a
to
bishop's
talk-
kid.
Yes, he's a PK. Oh,
No,
he's a
BK.
He's a
BK. Simon K is a BK.
We'll be talking about that.
Bishop's kids. Yes.
About
Yeah.
PKs and BKs.
Yeah.
And then he's asking, really, what do I do with spec? Well, now ulisahau. That one.
I need to be reminded many times.
That one. Elijah Mwega tuned in from Embu, Kenya.
Wow.
Thank you very much. We have PK Nganga. Mike test sounds 1 2 check. Mike PK Nganga tuned in. Asante sana. Chege Ngoru, here we go. Asante sana. Elizabeth Ndirango is watching. Elijah Mwega, you are right, Pastor. It's not only to men of God, but it is a complicated tandem that most men desperate in addictions are in tears when in closet. I think they fear their integrity being questioned and exposed. Very true. That is what you are saying. Simon King is there again. David Kangede, following from Mombasa Road. Thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah, he hosted me today, and
yeah,
I did quite some good chicken and some nyama.
Wow.
Kajiado, so.
Thank you, David.
David Kangede,
I also-
the energy I have is from there.
I also need to be hosted.
Yes, please.
Maybe you should also connect me
And
with him.
you didn't mention
I host
somebody.
him.
You didn't mention somebody who is watching from Dar es Salaam.
Ruth, and there's also Ruth Gitogo. Yeah, you maybe.
Yeah,
you can-
Ruth Gitogo, yes. Ruth Gitogo, hatusemi maneno mingi, lakini Ruth Gitogo yako. Ruth Gitogo yako.
Kwani kuna kitu ulikuwa unataka kusema?
Si Ruth Gitogo wako,
Ako.
Jane Nyabura yako, Mary Warui yako. Yeah,
I
so
get
sisemi
you.
kitu mimi, sijasema kitu.
I get you.
Eh,
Thank you.
eh,
Thank you.
eh,
Thank you.
eh,
Mary
na-
Waroi,
Yeah,
Jane
na siko
Nyambura,
Mwagi yako huko Dar es
Jane
Salaam,
Nyambura. Hey there, Ruth Gitogo, asante sana. Shiko Mwangi nasikia.
Ako Dar es Salaam. Eh.
Asante sana.
You know, I need to go to Dar es Salaam. I need to go to Dar es
Thank you
Salaam.
very much.
Yeah. Atuletee korosho akikuja,
Shiko Mwangi.
Shiko Mwagi
Dar es
ukija
Salaam.
utuletee korosho.
Tafadhali.
Tafadhali usikose.
Tunaomba ni maombi, tunaomba tafadhali. Ukirudi hapa mjini,
Korosho. Ni korosho ama ni koroso ama ni korosho?
kumbuka watu wa bara.
Great, yeah.
Back to our topic.
Yes.
And so, as men of God and women of God, what should we do to help our fellow ministers? Reverend.
Number one, we need to find a place where we can reduce the loneliness that is there with men and women of God. And here let's talk about men of God.
Yes.
So we as men of God need to come together, create genuine fellowships.
Yes.
And Reverend Gigi will tell you that we actually have one.
Yes.
It's called the Minister's Well. The Minister's Well is a place where we come and we talk openly. When he comes, we don't see him as Reverend Gigi. They don't see me as Reverend Waroi. We come as Waroi, na Gigi, na Wiri. We sit there and we talk. We talk openly.
Yes.
We create a safe space where I know if I open my heart and pour it out here, I'm safe.
You're safe.
I'm safe in two perspectives. One, nothing I'll spill here will go out
Outside that.
Number two, if I spill or show my wood, it will not be injured more. It will be bowed. Oil will be applied on it. I'll be helped to heal. So it's a place of confidentiality, a place of healing, a place of openness. And as men of God, we need to fight such fellowships so that after I've ministered, I cannot go to tell my church members what I'm going through. Sometimes, like you're saying, even you are senior, there might be somebody over you, but even those who are over us, not all of them can be told everything. But when we come together as peers, and we sit at the city gate, and we start discussing our issues, and we start opening our hearts, we can find healing.
I'm reminded, I don't know whether you have ever heard this story, that there were these 3 pastors who came together and they decided to open up and share their issues. So the first one said, mimi hata mkiniona Mungu anitumia hivyo, niko na shida na wanadada. Mimi nikiona mwanadada amesimama vizuri.
Kuna wengine wanasimamaga vibaya. Unaingia pale kwa Matthew kwa roho, unakuwa umezini.
Mimi sasa, na sio tu kwa kiroho.
Sio roho,
mwili
anafuata.
Kwa mwili.
Na unajua watumishi wa Mungu, kuna favor wanakuaga nayo. Sometimes wadada hawawezi kusema no to them.
Wanachunga kondoo.
Sasa huyo akasema, so tafadhali
mniombe.
So the other one akafikiwa akasema, na mimi niko na shida na mali. Pesa. Ukiona umeweka pesa yako vibaya.
Hata sadaka pale
kuna wakati mahesabu
haziingiaga. Yeah.
And the third one akasema, sasa na mimi mniombee sana kwa sababu niko na shida na mdomo, nikisikia maneno ya watu.
So mpaka anasikia sasa,
nikisikia maneno ya watu
lazima niende niseme.
Lazima niongee.
Sasa lakini ameomba aombewe. So hapo huyo anapiga magoti kwanza, yeye tunawekelea mikono na miguu.
These 2 pastors were in trouble.
No, amesema mniombe.
Mniombe, lakini
apiga magoti kwanza.
Deliverance hayanzi hapo.
Lazima tumudeliver hapa, hawezi toka hapo kama haja kuwa lazima tu mpaka atuambie nimesikia ikitoka. Unaona wale huwa wanarolo wanasema nimesikia kitu imetoka hapa ikaenda. Tutakuombea hapo mpaka kama ni siku 3 mpaka useme umesikia ikitoka.
Umesema hivyo nikakumbuka tena leo kwa studio kuna msichana sijui alikuwa anaombea nani discuss akisema toka ukicheka.
Hata imani usitoka ukicheka.
Yani alikuwa anaombea studio.
But what I'm saying, when these men of God come into these fellowships, of course you don't come the first day and start saying that when I see a girl, my head go parakaputu. So what you do is that it's relationships that are built over time. It's trust is built over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So build this trust over time. And I think the second thing that we need to appreciate, and Reverend Gigi mentioned that, is that you accept I am a human being, and therefore I could have a problem. So because accepting that I have a problem is the beginning of healing. It's the beginning of healing. And sometimes we don't need to be worried so much as to what people will say as much as to the healing that I will receive. That people, if people don't know, then I continue deteriorating and I die, then I have lost. If people know that this is Waroi, he is struggling with this. He's a human being like any other human being. He's struggling with this. But even if they get to know, I get to find an opportunity to find healing. I will heal, recover. It may remain a scar, but it will not prevent me from going to my destiny. So of course, it is important for confidentiality to be kept. But in the fear of people might know, we need not deteriorate to death. We better come out. Sometimes even, there are things that will happen and they come out. And it is important, and I can't remember where I had this. It's important if, as a man of God, you find you're struggling with something. And if it comes out, it will hinder or affect your credibility in terms of ministry. It's okay to take a break. It's okay for me, Reverend Duarwe, to say, actually, I'm taking a break from ministry.
That is what I wanted to we talk about. Because there's this pastor in the U.S. He had a very big congregation. I think 6,000 members. And he was struggling with something. And one day, he stood on a Sunday service and he said, I want to take a break.
Exactly.
But my question is, how many pastors will do that. They will
That is what we need. We need
You
pastors
see-
who can stand and say, I have a problem, I'm struggling. It could even be fatigue.
Yes.
That I'm tired. Just give me 2 years. Let me go sort myself out.
You see,
Yes.
they say, mficha uchi hazai.
Hiyo sijaisikia, hiyo ni mpya.
Now, if
By
you
the
have
way,
never been
think
to a
about it.
delivery-
Yes.
Think about umere delivery room. Na unasema,
Let me tell you, I once landed in a delivery room accidentally.
Accidentally.
Yes, I don't want to go back there. But my wife gave birth.
Oh.
And my son, my
It's
daughter
your
was
wife.
kept in a,
I thought
a
uliingia
warmer
wako wa mama
place.
wengine.
There's a warmer place where they keep the baby immediately after birth. You know, Reverend Warui knows our stories about
Yes,
our
yes.
childbearing processes.
Yeah, we've
They are
walked
usually
along
a bit
them, yeah.
difficult. So immediately after birth, my daughter was kept in a warmer. Now, I come in, you know the steam, yeah? Mtoto amezaliwa.
Amezaliwa.
And nataka kuona mtoto wangu. You know, I even wanted to take a photo.
A selfie.
Exactly. So I talked to the nurse and she tells me, your daughter is right across there.
But you can't go there.
No. I asked, can I go? And I was told, yeah, you're free to go.
Lakini
I
katikati,
didn't know that place is beyond the delivery room. So you have to walk through the delivery room so that you go to the extreme corner
Yes.
where the warmer is. Now, it only dawned on me that I was inside the delivery room when I saw a woman on that small bed. And I can tell you that bed is ni kadogo.
Ni kadogo.
Sana. You cannot turn. Unakaa.
Ukikaa hapa umekaa. Ukitani kwenda chini.
Amezingirwa na wanaume kama 6.
Wanaume ama wanawake?
Wanaume.
Hey.
Na wanawake kama wawili. And then I'm hearing them saying, push. That is when it hit me that
you are in the delivery ward.
na
Kwani
mwanamke
niko wapi?
amefanya nini? Thank God nilikuwa nimepita kule kwa kichwa. Miguu imeangalia kule. Wanaume wamemficha uchi
Hazai.
hazai.
So lazima ufunue.
Kabisa.
If you want healing,
Let me tell you, there is
Expose.
no way out.
tokea.
Stop telling us that you're going to be embarrassed about your problem.
No.
If you're looking for a solution to your problem, it doesn't matter the cost.
Yes.
You must be willing to pay the
cost.
price, however dire it is.
Yeah.
You must be ready. People might know or might not know. We are not here to embarrass you, yes. But in the event that they get to know, which one is better? People to know and you get a solution, or you drown and die, or you commit suicide. And then you're giving another work ya kukutafutia coffin na kukuzika na kulea watoto wako.
Yeah. Or even, you know, there are many who hide. There are many who hide, and then somehow it comes out too
It
late.
will finally come to light.
You know, if you come out and say, I have this problem, I have this challenge, this has happened. Let us use the example of you've been promiscuous. You've slept with a woman. If you come out and confess, it's easier to deal with it than when 5-6 years later somebody is coming with a baby and saying we have to go to court. There's your baby. So if you realize you are in a mess, cry for help. Cry for help.
Cry as much as you can.
Rusha mikono,
And
rusha
there's
nini.
something I've come to realize.
Yes.
When you come out yourself and you
Yes.
speak it,
Actually, it's
Nobody will condemn you.
yes.
I can
It's
almost
actually more
assure you.
credible. If you
Only
come
a
out and say,
malicious person
I have this
will
problem, I need help.
there's this politician, people
Yes.
started saying, hey, akona mtoto nje.
Yeah.
And he came out and said, yeah, and I am taking care of the baby.
Yeah.
And from there, your story ikaisha.
But usigoje watu waseme si utokee wewe ukuje.
Sema.
Ukiona ya kwamba ita affect ministry yako, enda keti na wazee wa kanisa. Waambie ya kwamba kuna mambo 1, 2, 3 ambazo zimekuwa ni challenge kubwa. Naomba munipatie leave ya miezi 6 ama mwaka mmoja. I go deal with these things. And what I would plead with the church elders is continue paying that pastor. When he takes that 1 year off, when he takes that 6 months off to go and deal with himself and recompose himself and deal with the issues he is going through, continue paying him.
Because that's where
Give
maybe
him support.
another issue comes in.
Yes, because
this
if I
person
leave,
here,
then-
if I do this,
then
I've
napeagwa sadaka
I've
nikihubiri.
lost my income.
Yes.
So wacha nizidi
Yeah.
kung'ang'ana na hali
Yeah, but
yangu.
it's okay. And it's very, just come out.
Yes. I
Of course,
agree.
come out to, like I said the other time, have, you know, like even Jesus did not come out to everybody. He left the 9, he went with the 3.
Yes. Yes.
These are the 3 he told, my heart is depressed unto death.
Yes.
And I always say, you don't buy an ambulance after the accident has happened.
Yes.
when you are okay, when you are sober, when you're good, build relationships. Build relationships. So that when you find yourself in trouble, you know that I can run to Pastor Gigi and I can tell him what I'm going through. And because we have walked a journey, when I was victorious, he was with me. When I was shining, he was with me. Even now in this quagmire, he will be with me. Very, very important to build those relationships early.
Very true.
Yeah.
I agree. Let's talk about the PKs before we go to the solution.
Yes.
There are some people would say because Gigi is a pastor, his sons and daughters, they must be saved. How should we go about that? And so you'll find that your son is struggling with something or he's going through an addiction and people are saying
Mtoto wa pasi, how?
pastor anawezaje kuwa anang'ang'ana na pombe?
First of all, it is very bad to stigmatize a child. It depends on where you went to school.
Yes.
To stigmatize a child based on their parents. The fact that I'm a pastor, people must understand my sons and my daughters are not pastors.
No.
Very true.
They are children who have a father and a mother. And my children don't even call me Pastor Gigi in the house.
No.
They call me daddy.
They
Yes.
call me daddy. My wife does not call me Pastor Gigi in the house. Never.
In the house, she's not the pastor's wife.
Yes,
She's
I am
Gigi's wife.
Gigi. I am the husband to my wife. So people need to understand that you should expect pastors' children to go through a normal life process like every other child. And so when they have difficulties, when they have challenges, we should deal with them like we are dealing with all these other children.
Yeah.
The expectation that because I am a pastor, my children should be saved, that is a very wrong notion.
Because
and that is where
pastors don't save people.
they don't save people. It
Yeah.
is Jesus who saves them.
Yes.
I preach to them every day, yes, but I leave them to make a decision. As you are growing up, there used to be a habit where every pastor's child was born again.
Yes.
They were, when they were toddlers, they were even taught to say, my daughter is called Whitney. My name is Whitney.
And
I am
born
saved.
again.
Yeah.
You know, and they don't even know what to be saved is. And as they grow up, they start wondering, what does this salvation mean? What does it mean to be born again? They don't feel it. So we allow them to grow up. Thank God that nowadays pastors have known that it is a decision that everyone has to make, and so we allow them to be themselves. The only thing that we do is we have to train our children the right way.
Exactly.
When we have trained them the right way, the only other thing we can do is pray for them.
Yeah.
That God helps them to make right decisions and not get into these addictions. But if they get into them, I pull them out just like I pull out mshirika wa kanisa yangu.
Yes.
For me, it is very unfortunate.
Yes, and I think we need to tell people, don't stigmatize our children. We don't bring them up in tongues.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
Come on.
We don't bring them up in tongues. We are parents like every other parent.
Yes.
So when you see an accountant's child, you don't expect them to speak credit and debit.
Yes.
When you see a doctor's child, you don't expect them to carry a scalpel and the thing on their neck.
And needles.
So why do you expect a pastor's child to be? No, don't stigmatize our children.
Yes.
They are normal children. Even in school, you find a child, wewe ndio mtoto wa Pastor Warui. Wewe kama ni mtoto wa Pastor Warui unaweza aje anguka CRE? Anaweza anguka CRE. Anaweza anguka CRE. Yeah.
By the way, preaching and theory are two different things.
Exactly.
Yes.
Hatukulagi breakfast in a Bible.
Yes. Unakuwa kama wale watu wengine.
Yes. Some of us struggle with Bible devotions at home more than those who are not pastors. Yes.
Mtoto wa pastor ameiba shule. You know, I used
Kai,
to be a
mtoto wa
teacher.
pastor.
Let me tell you, the worst thing that I could hear from that staff room meeting that we had. I'm sorry, teachers. Teachers will always be teachers. You know, tumemwita hapo. And the first thing anaambiwa, wewe unaiba na baba yako ni
pastor,
bishop.
ni bishop.
Na wakati huo bishop amejaribu kila kitu.
Yes.
Kusaidia mtoto, amemwekelea mikono karibu amwekee miguu akanyange.
Yeah.
Ameongelesha
Hii
yeye.
pepo itoke. Amekataa, ameiba mpaka pesa ya baba yake.
Let children be children. And
So
let us
as
know.
you deal with them, deal with him as a child.
Not as a
like
pastor's
you deal
child.
with
Not
another
as a
one.
PK.
Why do you drag the bishop into this? And you know,
Yeah, we need God's help even in bringing up our children. So
unfortunate.
pastors' children can also be found in addiction. And when you find them in addiction, they need to be helped to find help, just like any other child. You don't need to look at them with a condemning eye of, wewe, unaaibisha baba yako. Kwani mtoto wa accountant haibishi accountant?
Na anaanguka mahesabu.
So anaanguka mahesabu. So let us take them as normal children.
Yes.
Let us not put, because again, when we put them on that pedestal, we bring them where their fathers are. That place of very high expectation, and so they feel, if I speak out about my weakness, then watu watanionaje? Watu watanifikiria aje? And even us as ministers, we also need to stop stigmatizing our own children. We need not telling our children that unajua wewe ni mtoto wa pastor, unatakiwa usiniaibishe. No, let your child be a child. Because when you tell your child that, then they will hide. They cannot go to a teacher and seek help if they are addicted to alcohol or whatever else, because they will think, huyu mwalimu atafikiria baba yangu aje, kwa sababu me as the father, I have taught my child to know that whatever he does reflects on me. And so he feels, yes, I have this charge. I know I would want to go and talk to the CU patron. But nikiambia CU patron, ataona baba yangu aje. Sasa shida si yeye, kwa sababu the father made the child feel that you are the carrier of my image. And therefore, whatever you do has an impact on my image as a bishop, on my image as a pastor. We need to let our children know that they are normal children. We are also normal parents. And if they have issues, they need help, they have addictions, they should be able to go to their patrons, they should be able to go to this teacher that they trust without fearing, huyo mwalimu atafikiria baba yangu bishop aje, and seek help from there.
Yes, let us treat pastors' kids as normal children. They are not special. They are not special children. They are children like any other children out there. Now, how do we get out of addiction?
I think we've mentioned quite a lot as we were discussing. And I would want to first of all state quickly, number one, you need to identify the fact that you have a problem and that you need help. Two things. You need to identify what is your problem, what are you addicted to? What am I struggling with? Is it pornography? Is it masturbation? Is it drunkenness? Is it weed? What is it?
Is it tea?
Is it tea? Yes, you guys.
Is it phones?
The other day.
Is it gadgets?
Yes. Is it gadgets?
And
social media, yes.
Social media, by the way, is a very bad addiction.
Yeah. Before we continue, I have a testimony.
A testimony.
I have been delivered.
Okay. Me, I'm here to be delivered.
Of tea.
So, tea. Yes. Porridge hapa. Yes. You know, the other day, I forgot my phones in the house. I was going to the car wash. And I came back and I told my daughter, that was the greatest and the freshest hour I have ever experienced.
Wow.
I felt good. I just sat in the petrol station. The car was being washed. I didn't have my gadgets.
You counted the vehicles.
Nice.
So if I see you are addicted.
Until you do that, you will never realize. Let me tell you.
Mutanisaidia.
You need deliverance.
Mutanisaidia.
Nitakuombea. Grace boy. I know you are watching.
Maubia Grace taki. Maubia Grace sitaki.
Grace Kiboy hapa kuna kazi.
So
unajua kwanza kuna Pastor Lucy.
You need to identify what you are struggling with. After you identify, you need to also accept that you need help.
Yes.
Because this is where the problem is.
Yeah.
Many people know that they have a problem, but they are not willing to look for help. So you must identify the need and then the need to be helped.
Yes.
Once you identify that, then you must now take the necessary steps. That number two, I need to go, where do I find help? Something that people don't talk a lot about, rehab. I would start from the top before I go to the bottom. We are talking about bottom up and up down.
Economy.
Okay, we start from the top now.
Yes.
Trickle down.
Let me tell you, people need to go for rehab. Kenyans and those living in the diaspora of Tanzania and Uganda.
Dar es Salaam,
Yes. We all need to agree to the fact that if you are battling addictions, you may need to consider rehab. The only bad thing with rehab is that it only works for people who are willing to go there. If you're forced to it, it will never work for you. But if you find that you have something that would demand that you go to a rehab, please quickly go. And let me demystify the fact that many people, and especially in Kenya, think that rehab is for people who are sick mentally and mad. Okay? People tend to think that when you're told to go for rehab, that you have lost your mind. I don't know the proper word to use. Umekuwa mwenda wazimu, kichaa. That is a very bad misconception. People need to understand that rehab is just another hospital kind of, like every other hospital. The way you go to the doctor when you're having diarrhea, it is the same way you walk to a rehab because you are having a problem with your smoking.
Wow.
The same way you go to the dentist when you have a toothache, it is equivalent to going for a rehab because you have depression.
Okay.
Or because you have
an
addiction to another habit. And the moment people begin to understand that, they will embrace it. Because that is one of the biggest tools that we need to use in order to get help. If you're willing to go for rehab, please quickly run to
go
it.
there.
Number 3, what Pastor Waloi loves talking about a lot. Mentorship and accountability.
Exactly.
You need to work with somebody who has either gone through this and has come out, or somebody who has the know-how of getting you out of your addiction. Let it be that you have somebody that keeps you on your toes. If you're this kind of a person who is watching pornography all the time, you need somebody that you can quickly call and tell them, hey man, I'm just about to download this thing. And unfortunately, the phones now have made it easier. You know? I was telling somebody, I mean, we are living in different times. The first time I saw pornography, I was actually a teacher. You know, I have gone through high school.
Nowadays they are seeing it when they are
kila
kids.
kitu, mtoto ameshikwa na porn. So unasikia walimu wakisema, haya, fulani ameshikwa na porn. So nilikimbia kuona pornography inakuwaga nini. You know, I was that naive. I only used to hear about it. I saw it with a student. Nowadays, they are having it.
Yes.
You know, you get
Right.
a you
Right
get a
in
child.
that sitting room, you are there seated with your kids, and
they
someone
are
is
watching-
having
they are
a
watching
phone.
it facing the
Amepita
Yes,
hivi.
yes.
Exactly.
Then unaona ameamka ameenda washroom. Unafikiri ameenda kujisaidia.
And he's going to
Kujisaidia ya ukweli.
Ni kusaidia ukweli.
You know, let me tell you, they do these things. I was shocked.
Ukiona mtoto wako ako kwa simu sana, alafu
Nenda
kama unaona
wazani.
amedrop ameenda kwa choo.
Na
Let me tell you,
nasikia kasauti.
I am driving from Thika.
Unaweza chungulia kwa mlango usikize hapo.
I'm driving from town. I am just about to join, no, that's Murang'a Road. Thika Road inaanzaga wapi?
Hapo Murang'a Road.
Akali
Hapo Murang'a.
Hapo Murang'a Road.
Unaona hapo junction ya Wangari Maathai na sasa hiyo sijui
yeah.
Murang'a Road ama ni nini. It was about 7:30 in the night. So I'm driving and then kuna jam. Kijana amekaa kwa matatu ile kiti ya nyuma. Simu yake imeangalia nje ya kioo.
amejifanya hivi.
Let me tell
Apati
you,
huyu
when
mwingine
I
aone.
looked, this guy is actually watching porn in a matatu.
Huyo ni mkubwa. We were on holiday. And we were at the reception of a hotel. And then should be about 4 or 5 year old. Alikuwa na iPad. Real hard porn.
Look at that.
In fact, it's my wife who saw him. Of course, now we looked for who the guardians he had come with, because I think they were not his parents and such. The boy is there for 5 years.
Imagine in a reception.
And I watched reception ya hoteli.
You know, for me, what was going through my mind as I looked at that young man, I was like, Yani, he can't even wait. It's not right to watch it at home. He can't even wait to go home.
Maybe matatu ilikuwa na wifi.
Ina matatu.
Home hakuna wifi. Matatu kuna wifi.
And I'm
Ni
like,
wifi ya free.
which world are we living in?
It's a bad
I
world.
was
It's a bad
almost wishing
world.
there was a way
May
I
God
could
help
shout to
us,
him
yeah.
my number across the window
Akupigia simu
and tell
baadaye.
him, please call me after this. Because that is somebody who needs somebody to get hold of their hand.
Snatch them
and
from the
literally
fire.
Snatch them out.
From the fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
Guys, we need to get to a point where we acknowledge that there is need for everybody battling addiction to work with somebody who can.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is very important. And I've worked with several people. And what I tell them is that the moment the craving comes, give me a call. hata kama ni midnight, give me a call.
Yes.
Do you know what? The mere thought of I'll call Reverend Waro to tell him I feel like doing it now,
the thought pattern.
Yes.
kama joto ilikuwa level inaenda 0 degrees per cent, degrees per Celsius.
Chukua padlock. Jiguze.
Wewe usaidii. Nipigie simu by the way. So for accountability is the moment you feel like masturbating, give me a call. And they give me a call. We walk together and it works.
It works because there is nothing that happens as an event.
No,
instantly.
it's always a process.
It is always a pattern.
Yeah.
If you know,
before you unlock that phone,
saying, if you're going to Kunyonga and
if you're
going to Kunyonga at point D,
yes,
there is always
there's a point A, B, C before you get to D. Yeah.
By the moment you go through process A, as you get to process B, you realize I'm headed to C.
Yes.
That is the point at which you take your phone and call the person.
The person that is your accountability partner. Okay. And tell them this is what I feel I want to do.
Happening.
And they will.
That disrupts the thought
by
pattern.
the moment the time you are finishing that, hata mtaongea hiyo kitu, mtaanza kuongea other things. By the moment you are finishing the conversation, uko sawa.
Yes. And we need to bring
and another just another one or two things that we talked about last time is about separation. I would call it separation. If you're in a locality where there's a lot of smoking, there's a lot of drinking, you're always passing by and the smell inakuvuta, leave that place. Hama huko. Hata kama ni kwako umejenga na unajua vizuri ya kwamba nikitoka kwa nyumba, unajua kuna wazee wa they're addicted to these spirits. Na akitoka kwa nyumba yake hapo nje ni rika, ni spirit shop. Kwanza zimekuwa nyingi. Ziko everywhere. Ni kama vibada za sukuma wiki. Kila mahali ni rika. So hama. Hata kama ni kwako. Hama ili usaidike. So separate yourself. If it's relationships, separate yourself. If it's whatever is leading you there, find a way of separating yourself. If it's a job, you know, you might be working in a place where liquor is available. Leave the job. Heri ukuwe broke for some time. Lakini utoke huko kuwa mzima. Leave that job. So for me, separate. Kama ni simu, guy.
Stay offline.
Na maora wa elimu ananiuliza rehab ya social media iko wapi twende?
Ni kababe.
Kababe, kuna mtu anaonyesha kababe hapa. Lakini tunajua shida yake ni gani. Sasa sijui shida yako ni gani. So the other thing after separation is what I call the replacement theory. Replacement. You cannot leave a habit and you don't replace it. You know what Jesus said? Jesus actually alluded to it. Alisema pepo ikija itolewe, inatoka inaenda. As it goes through hard places, inasema wacha nirudi. Nione kama
kuna mtu aliingia pahali
anakuja anaangalia anakuta nyumba imeoshwa, imesafishwa, lakini hakuna mtu yuko ndani. Inaenda inachukua zingine 7. Inakuja na Biblia inasema the end of that man will be worse than the first. Addiction iko hivyo. If you don't replace, if it's a habit, replace it. If it is something you take, replace. If you don't replace, Grace anatuambia hapa ni demon. That demon itakuja wakiwa 7. Na addiction yako ya mwisho itakuwa mbaya kuliko ile ya mwanzo.
Yes, thank you very much for joining us. I can see we had Daniel Kimani, Daniel Nyutu, Mureithi Naomi, Ruth Gitogo, atusemi sana, but anasema deep truth there, pastors' children are not pastors. Tafadhali, pastors' children are not pastors.
Yes.
Joy, Maggie Joy, blessings. Thank you very much for joining us. Great discussion. No. Hallelujah. Here we go. And we have Siko Mwangi.
Ako Dar es Salaam.
Anasema PKs and BKs are just like any other children. Ukweli tu. And Grace wa Jacoboy, tafadhali yote sawa. Yes, I prayed for you. Thank you for your prayers, my dear sister.
Yeah.
I told you it's a demon, nikaitoa ukaona kama ni mchezo. Asante, maombi yako ilifika, sasa niko free. Thank you very much. And Maggie Joy, blessings. You don't bring up children in tongues.
Yes, we don't bring them in tongues.
Very, very, very true.
Yeah.
Can you give us your closing remarks?
Okay. I would want to say 2 things. One, is that we all got to get to a point where we realize that we are on this earth, and that at one point you might get a nosedive. The most prudent thing that you would do is realize that you actually are here on earth and that you are work in progress. We may not be very perfect, like we have said here. Even us, we are still, you know, working towards becoming better and better than we are. And therefore, we all need to realize that there will always be need for help at any given time. Let us all endeavor to becoming better than we are. In terms of our behavior, in terms of the things that we do, the things that we take, let everybody take it as a personal responsibility. Because unless you're willing, then it becomes impossible to be helped. Number two, I think I need to make a goatee for me to now become
Yes,
No,
the city
that's
gate
what-
man.
The man you are sitting his seat on,
Yes.
ako kama wewe.
Ako kama
So
wewe.
kaa hivyo tu.
nakaa hivyo. Thank you, viewers. God bless you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
lovely
you.
night.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
final
What I
remarks.
would like to say is that Jesus Christ is the ultimate solution for all troubles that men go through. So if you're there and you're not born again and you're struggling with so many things, I want to assure you that in Christ Jesus, there is help. If you're there and you're born again, the Bible says that the name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous, so it's the righteous who are running there and they are safe. Christ is able to solve that problem. Christ is the ultimate solution. All these other things without Christ might not bear much. But if you have Christ, na umshikirie, abide in him, kabisa kabisa, atasuruhisha shida ya maisha yako.
Hallelujah.
God bless you.
And I will end with the scripture. 1 Peter 5:7, it says, cast all your burdens and all your anxiety and all your troubles unto him, because he cares for you.
And if you're a drunkard, he cares.
He
He cares
He
for
cares.
you,
He
and
cares.
he loves you the way you are.
He cares.
The only thing you need to do is just cast that burden to him, and you can of you. And so that marks to the end of our discussing
Show
about
tonight, battering
battling
addictions.
addictions.
Final episode.
The final episode. Next Monday, we are coming back here to Man the City, and we'll be having an interesting topic. So you better keep it here. Thank you for watching, and I request us all to continue sharing the link with our friends that they can learn what you have learned tonight. And for now, it is a good night. God bless you.
God bless you.
And
Kwaheri.
wherever you are, man your city gates. This is Wema TV.
The voice of hope.
Willy Kinyashia,
Bernard Waroe here.
And Pastor Gigi.
asanteni sana.
Kwaheri.
Kwaheri.
Imewaka.